Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing my what sold video, which will be for last week, Monday through Thursday, March the 3rd through March the 6th. My sales are okay. I had 2 days that are average and 2 days that were a little bit below average, but they're still better than what they had been all of February, so I'm not going to complain. Still doing, listing, ending and sell similar, running sales, sending offers, accepting a lot of offers, especially on my old stuff.
Based on comments I've read in our video, February was bad for pretty much not everybody, but pretty much everybody.
Yeah, it was a tough month. But historically for me, February is always a low month for me, but not that bad. Not that bad. All right, so y'all, just gonna laugh. Yes, they're all turned backwards because it kept trying to focus on their face and not mine. So I was like blurry. So we turned them all around. So I'm gonna try to get a couple of them listed in the next week.
They look like they're getting ready to do some sort of dance routine where they start out with their back to the crowd.
Yeah. A lot of the comments from last night's video was like, just get them all listed. Don't try to spread them out. So that's what I'm going to do. We're actually leaving tomorrow for the Peaches to the Beaches. So if you're going to be in that area this weekend, let us know. We're going to already have a scheduled breakfast with Sweet Tea Pickin' on Saturday morning. So if you're in the area, we all got to eat. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, if you want to meet up, let us know.
That'll be in the Baxley, Georgia area.
Saturday. Friday, we're going to be in the
We're going to start out in Barnesville and end up in Baxley.
Yep.
So if you're not going to be up in Barnesville and you want to eat supper, then we'll be in Baxley Friday night.
Yep. We've already checked the weather. It seems like there's chances of rain on and off, but for the most part, it seems like it's going to be behind us, right?
Right behind where we're at.
Right. So fingers crossed, no rain. Good deals, relax, and source, which is, of course, all of our favorite thing to do. Oh.
No, I really like the shipping and the listing. Okay.
You don't even list. I'm the lister. He's the shipper. We've got all our packages ready right here because...
For the stuff at home, actually shipping is probably my favorite thing to do. Of the stuff that we do here at the house. Of course I like going out and buying the stuff, but... Yeah. At the house, I like shipping.
I like listing. I always have. That would probably be the one thing I would have a hard time giving up if I was to ever get rich and hire somebody to do all this for me and just source.
So any of y'all that are, Rebel and I were talking about this the other day. There's a couple people I follow on Facebook, and one of them's a real estate guy, but he posts a lot of just general business stuff. And we talked that if we were young, we would be trying to grow this. If we were in our 20s, I'll skip the joke about Rebel being 20 and me being 15 starting this business. We'll pretend we're both 20. Anyway, we would grow this business, and hopefully by the time we got to our 50s and 60s, that we would have a bunch of employees so that, it would be a better business. We would be providing jobs for people. But what he said was, if you're going to grow your business, he said hiring, like, what's the worst thing you told me? Taking pictures. It's your least favorite, right? Mm-hmm. You don't mind doing, doing the rest of the listing, but you don't like taking the pictures. That one would be easy. If we were going to hire employees, that would be an easy thing for us to outsource. And the shipping, as much as I enjoy it, that's an easy thing to outsource because it's a simple process. You can teach it to somebody. The one that Rebel doesn't like is the pictures. That's something easy to get rid of. But the thing that's hard to get rid of is the stuff that you're really good at and that you enjoy. And that's the sourcing. She's really good at sourcing and she enjoys it. But if you're going to grow your business, those are the things that you really need to hire people to do. So that how much more could we, if we were that young and wanted to grow the business, how much more could we grow if we had people sourcing for us? So If you're young and you're thinking about growing this business, remember, you got to let go of the things that you enjoy doing. And then that way you could focus on the bigger picture stuff, have more of a strategic direction for your business and not so much the day-to-day things.
Yep. But at this point in our lives, I'm actually work less, play more. So going to be, you know, we will maintain, but I don't really want to grow much bigger. I just don't. I don't want to be that busy anymore. Let's go ahead and let me show you what I sold on Etsy and on eBay. Decent sales on Etsy, just 2 of them to share with you. This first one, I talk about this quite often. It is the Russ Home Buddies plush. They're little terry cloth animals. Some of them are just bread and butter, but something like this was Ringo, and he sold for $35.95.
Wasn't he a drummer?
All right, and then this game, it was called Golden. I think it's by Golden. It is Girl Talk Dateline, the talking dating game. Let me see what I put in my description. Some playware from play handling. Box has wear, fading, damage, but otherwise it appeared to be complete, but untested. So hopefully that won't be an issue. Hopefully they read that. And it sold for $31.45. And then on eBay, a lot of bread and butter, a lot of clothes. But I had some decent sales on there also. First thing here are Dickies men's denim bib overalls. We do well with overalls, and even like Dickies, which is, you know, not the greatest brand as far as jeans and stuff, but this pair sold for $32.14. There's going to be several of I wouldn't buy this again type stuff. It's been listed over a year. It was a faux leather garment bag. I think we actually bought something in it, and then I thought, let's just list the garment bag also. And I finally took an $8 offer on it to make it gone.
It had a jacket or something in it, I think.
Something, yeah. All right, Carter's little green gingham bear plush with the rattle. Again, another really old listing. Sometimes Carter's is great. Sometimes it takes a while. This one sold for $12. I would still pick it up. All right. I had a viewer sell, so thank you so much, Lisa. Lisa bought 2 pairs of shorts for me. I sold quite a few shorts in this 4-day period. She bought these J. Crew women's denim cutoffs for $12.76. And she also bought these Old Navy Sweethearts for $11.23. So get your shorts listed if you're the type that likes to wait till spring and summer, because they're selling for me.
It's starting to get warm in the south.
In the south. All right, this was a Brooks Brothers men large shirt, and it sold for $18. It was a very quick sell. Pfaltzgraff Pottery Villa della Luna bowl. RJ's grandmother gave us these to list, so thank you, Jan. And these 2 bowls sold for $16. Felted wool ornaments. I tend to pick up a lot of felted wool stuff. Some of it sells for a lot. I think I had these little cats maybe, or mice, and they sold for quite a bit. So I'm going to keep picking them up. Even just this 5-inch little ornament sold for $8. Very light because it's just felted wool. Baby blanket. I picked up probably 4 or 5 like homemade almost baby blankets years ago, and they took forever. Probably not something that I would continue to pick up unless it's like Blue's Clues or something that I know is going to sell quicker. But this was Looney Tunes, and it finally sold for $17. Taggies, loveys. I'm going to pick up most of them as long as they're in good condition. This was a little bear with the pink flowers, $13.45. When I picked this up, I didn't realize that this was Sherry Lewis from the Lamb Chop series. His name was Hush Puppy, and he took about 5 months to sell, but he sold for $40. Those side characters are the ones you really need to be watching out for. Another lovey. This brand was Nimcore. A long time to sell. $9.86. Hard Rock Cafe San Francisco t-shirt. we like picking up the Hard Rock Cafes. I did really, really well with these ones that we picked up at a church one time. $1 each. They were larger sizes.
They were old too.
Yeah, and I had like one buyer who kept just buying a couple at a time and did really well on them. But this t-shirt just sold for $10.57. This was another nice sell. It is an Easter time fiber optic bunny. Took forever though to sell. I did, I think, have it pre-boxed, and it finally sold for $25. Probably not something I'm going to pick up again, only because it's larger stuff. If it's not going to sell for quite a bit of money, we're trying to stay away from that kind of stuff now because it just takes up a lot of space.
And I get nagged at for weeks until I get it packed.
It takes forever. Look, you guys, right here, I've been waiting, and then this is this one of the Sasha dolls I'm waiting on him to pack.
What she doesn't understand is that's my strategy to get her to quit buying big stuff. She'll get frustrated. You never pack it anyway. I'm going to stop buying it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yes, finally.
Tommy Hilfiger women's pants, forever to sell. Let's see. Yeah, it was the 1,388th item of clothing that we listed. Sold for $11.66. Probably not something I would pick up again. Yeah, the good and the bad of sourcing, right? I got a sweet message with this. This person was so thrilled to find this. It was a childhood toy that she was replacing. It was called Best Friend Bear. Her name was Gracie. And it was that service merchandise. Do you guys remember going to those stores? We used to have one in Johnson City that I went to a couple of times. But I don't think they're in existence anymore.
I have never seen one in my life, and my only knowledge of service merchandise is from Wheel of Fortune. When they would, back in the old days, they would spin and win, like $800, and they would buy a bunch of stuff from the kitchen. And I'll take the last $150 on a service merchandise gift certificate.
I don't remember that part. If I didn't say, she sold for $9.86. But sometimes this is why I like to pick up the things that might take a little while because of messages like that. Kohl's, this was a quick flip. It is Mo Willems' Nuffle the Bunny Green Rabbit, and it sold for $12.11. Gerber Baby Bibs, or the Play School Baby Bibs. I do so well. I very seldom find them. A lot of times I'm selling them for $20, $25, $30 each. This one was the last of a few that I picked up at a yard sale. But this one was dinosaurs, and it finally sold $19.95. I had one of these listed, and then recently in a haul video, I had picked up a few more of these Disney Arco die-cast vehicles. I'm not going to pick, I liked to pick up the die-cast Sesame Street ones, but these Mickey Mouse, Pluto, I think there is like a few that were like for Miss Piggy, which I don't think I would pick them up, but I do like the ones that have the figures inside of it. Finally got this sold for $9. American Eagle women's jeans, $20.41. We do a lot of solds with the American Eagle shorts and pants. Russ Yomiko Classics Dog Plush, $15.25. Another, I love picking up the Mattel Emotion plush, but it takes a while to sell, especially when I can get it with the paper tags and the plastic tags. But you know, it's just one of those things. I will try to save them to find somebody, but be willing to do the long hold on it. But this was Johnny Bear Sr., and he sold for $17.51. Riders by Lee. A lot of people pass up on Riders. You know, we don't pick up a ton of them, but they do sell. They just take a little bit. And especially the ones that are 100% cotton. This one sold for $15.05. Playmobil Green Dragon. This was from that huge lot that I finally got processed. I knew I was going to list this dragon all by itself. It had, the wrists and the chains and everything. A lot of times if you look at them on eBay, they're missing some of that. So mine was, complete, and it sold for $23. Reindeer plush. This was a zipper storage type pajama bag, maybe had a nap bag in it, or nap mat. Took forever to sell. $17.95. This is an example of something I will never pick up again. These large doll accessories. This was a pain because it was in a basket and it took up like the whole back of the basket, even folded up. And then it sold for $9.86. Just say no. I think I picked it up at the bins, but no. IKEA green dinosaur plush. I pick up a lot of IKEA. There's a lot of them at the bins because right across the street in St. Louis is IKEA. $11.66. Another ornament. Would I pick it up again? Probably, because I like them. They're very cute. They're called inside art. They're actually painted inside of the ornament. This one is by Fiji, and it sold for $14. Probably something we picked up at the bins or at an estate sale in a fill-a-box type situation. But it was a ring holder. The little cat was like some kind of metal, and it sold for $10. Aurora Buddy Beagle puppy dog plush sold for $8.96. Bread and butter, y'all. I'm still going to continue to pick up a lot of the dogs and cat plush, but they're going to be bread and butter. This was a nice pickup, and I'm already forgetting. Do you remember where we picked him up? Was he at the Messy estate sale? Yes, I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, this was from if you haven't watched our picking video, we went to this estate sale. I'm just calling it the messy one because it was dingy, hardly any lights, really hard to find stuff, and it was a digger type situation. But I did find this Kermit. I contemplated keeping him for myself, but sometimes my wall's going to already be overflowing, which it's not up yet, but hopefully when we get back off this trip to the beaches. But this was Kermit the Frog hand puppet. This was one of the Fisher Price ones, and it sold very, very quickly for me for $60. This might be my best sell. Best Made Toys White Duck plush sold for $17.95. I like Best Made Toys. Nice quality, and just kind of seems to get a little bit better prices than bread and butter. Yellow bear plush with a cupcake belly. I think it was probably somebody's wannabe Care Bear, type of plush. I would never attribute anything that looks like Care Bear to Care Bear. Be careful with that, just because it's, in another example, just because it's a nylon plush doesn't mean you should be using Puffalumps.
You got to be careful with the trademark terms,
Yes.
such as Velcro,
Hook and loop.
Puffalump.
Yep.
Care Bear is going to be one. Any of these name brand things like this.
We regularly get emails from people trying to get us to sponsor their items on our channel, and it's almost always a no. Other than Munbin, there's another one I'm looking at. They have a product that I'd like to try out and use, so if it works out, we'll be doing that one. But we got one recently that I can't remember the name of the company, whatever it was, but they make replica bags of like Louis Vuitton and stuff, and they wanted us to advertise that on our channel. No, that's not going to happen. That's a whole lot of trouble looking to come down on your head right there.
Yeah.
So, and it applies to everything. If you, I tried to make t-shirts on Amazon on their merch site. I'm just a bad designer. Every now and then, like once a year, one of my old designs out there will sell and they'll send me $2 or something.
Yeah.
But one of the things you have to be wary of when you're doing that, or when you're selling things on Etsy that you're making yourself, is not to violate trademark, because that is a huge thing. People are constantly getting cease and desist letters about that sort of thing, and you could be getting the same sort of thing if you're using Care Bear for this thing, which to me it looks like a Care Bear. That's what I would have thought if I'd have seen it. Or Puffalump when it's not made by Fisher Price, and Velcro when it's just hook and loop and not made by actual Velcro. So be careful with what you're using for your keywords out here. Lego's another big one that people use and get in trouble for. So you don't want your store shut down just because you're trying to squeeze in a little bonus keyword.
Ooh, this was an amazing yard sale that we went to. I picked up a bunch of Teddy Betty Bear stuff. Some of it was Morgan, which, y'all, if you've watched a couple of my videos in the past, I've done really well with Morgan baby blankets. But I sold the sheets for like $100. And I've probably sold a couple of the receiving blankets, and then I've just kind of, the rest of it is sitting and waiting. But this had a pillow in it, but I took the pillow out. But it's just a pillowcase cover, and it sold for $19.08. Paid in full camo hoodie. Took about 8 months to sell, 6 to 8 months, and it was only $13.21. Probably it was just one of those things. We fill in a bag somewhere. But again, we're trying to be better with the sell-through rate on clothes.
This one was a little confusing to ship
I know.
because when it was in the bag, you couldn't, the way we had it folded, I guess the back of this thing is black, is my guess, because you basically couldn't see any of the camo.
And it was
I was looking for a camo hoodie, not something black. But as I looked at it, I could see the little trim at the bottom in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I looked a little closer, I could see a little bit of the camo tucked under in the bag. So it was kind of weird.
It's good, though, that we also put a SKU number on every single one of our bags. So, it helps identify when it doesn't quite look like you thought it should look.
And it helps us to make sure that we don't ship the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because some things we sell, like some of the small appliance parts, or even some Loveys. A lot of them look alike.
Mm-hmm. All right, Commonwealth. It's a brand I like picking up. This one was from 2010. This rabbit sold for $10.95. But we're heading into Easter, so if you've got the rabbits and anything that looks Eastery, probably should get it listed. I think I looked up, and Easter is April 20th. So I've sold a couple of things now that I realize it's Easter type stuff. Like this. This was a Gund Sadie the lamb plush. It would be adorable in a Easter basket, and it sold for $15. And even this, I talk about picking up plush with the bunny rabbit ears. This is from, I don't know what I've got there. Oh, MTY International. It was a husky dog plush with the rabbit ears, $10.36. Ray Dunn. Not something I'm going to pick up. I picked up a few pieces over the last probably 2 years, and they took forever. Definitely will be one of those things. It needs to be high dollar, and it needs to have a faster sell-through rate because, one of the things I just don't continue to sell will be the Ray Dunn. And this coffee cup finally sold for $15. I have to thank a viewer, Cat and Caboodle, who decided to go into my store and just kind of look around at what types of stuff I was selling, and she sent me a message. Y'all, I had spelt unicorn without an I, so it was just uncorn. And I also had it on Etsy, uncorn. And they've been listed since 2023. I just never caught it. And she mentioned that I had that word misspelled. This was like maybe last week, maybe. And I fixed it, and look, it sold. So thank you, Cat and Caboodle, for helping me fix my error. I do that quite often. I think recently I had Star Wars or something on another thing. You just type it in, not paying attention, and then I copy and paste when I'm listing. And I didn't catch it even when eBay is trying to tell you that something is misspelled. But these little unicorn figures finally sold for $51.
You've made worse typos, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She misspelled duck.
The vowel. And a viewer caught it and let me know. All right, this is H&M. Picked it up because it is Lisa from The Simpsons. And y'all, it sold for $35.71. And another viewer sale. I think Stacy is a viewer. I can't remember, so I'm just going to continue to thank her. She bought this Manhattan Toys dog plush and this purple bunny embroidered rabbit from Dandy Imports, and they sold for $19. So thanks again, Stacy. All right, West Bend food prep system, the lid to a blender, pieces and parts, sold for $10.09. The thing with for any small parts to appliances is, you're going to be waiting for that one buyer who lost their lid and needs to find a replacement. So sometimes they take quite a while, but I'm okay with some of the long-term stuff because this type of stuff doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Acme Tropical Bird Plush from 1983. I'm probably going to steer clear from a lot of these like carnival style plush because, they're hard stuffed. They don't give a whole lot of bend. They take up a lot of space, and they take a while. But this one finally sold $9.86. Lego minifigure. Pretty sure this is from a large lot that I picked up at a kids consignment sale or at a thrift store. I'm not quite remembering. I do remember paying like $8 for a bunch of minifigs, and I've done very well with them. I don't have very many left. This little cup police figure sold for $11. Another pair of shorts. These are Abercrombie Fitch women's jean shorts, $14. And last but not least, I picked up 2 of these sealed Kellogg's mini beans from Sesame Street at this recent estate sale where we bought all of the dolls. I had a lot of them listed. Some of them were loose, some of them were still in the bag. I stated in that video that I was probably going to pull that listing, put all the sealed ones together, list all the ones that are loose, and these sold very quickly. It was Prairie Dawn, Telly Monster, Big Bird, and Natasha. I think Natasha is a little bit harder to find, and they sold for $32. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope it's giving you ideas of stuff to source because, it's one thing to go out there and, buy a bunch of stuff, but it's got to sell. And that's the purpose of, I'm showing you the things we're picking up, but I'm also showing you the things that sell, the things that take a while to sell, and the things that move very quickly for me.
Because we're resellers, not buyers.
Yeah, we're resellers and hopefully not long-term stores, with some exceptions, especially my vintage plush. All right, y'all, it's time to get to work. We've got some shipping to do and another video, so.
Wait, I say this every now and then, but that stuff that sticks around for a while, that takes a while to sell or sells for low dollar, some of that stuff you sell because you enjoy it. You enjoy it, and that brings you, and there's nothing wrong with having a little happiness in your job. That's why we're not working for another company that we have to go make reports every day that drive me crazy.
Nope. All right, y'all, get to work. Bye.